and putted well in a second round 67. She's 2 behind the leaders. Annabelle Dimmock also had a 67 yesterday. She too was in fine form. In and around the greens, she's 1 shot back. Aditi Ashok is the form player, having just won her maiden title, and she put it all together once again in the second round to card a career best 66. She loves putting, and it shows. But leading the way are Lydia Hall, getting back to her best after a serious injury last year. And Pilsen Masters champion Nana Madsen, she can blow hot and cold, but she's been on fire in Doha. They hold a 1-shot lead. Here's how it stood going into the third day. Hall and Madsen on 9 under, Ashok and Dimmock on 8 under, Vilat Faray all alone on 7 under, and 4 players on 6 under par. My name is Nigel Bidmead. Alongside me is LET player Alison Whitaker. Al, it's a packed leaderboard. Who do you see emerging?
Well, I have to say, I bought a one-way ticket on the Aditi Ashok train, and she is one to watch. She's currently the top of the Rookie of the Year leaderboard. No surprises after that glorious win in India. She is fun to watch on the golf course. And also Nana Madsen, you know, as you said, she blows hot and cold. When she gets it going, she's so easily able to throw out a 65, and you know there's going to be an interesting day weather-wise. That wind's getting up a little bit, it's a little bit cooler, and you know it's just going to be a battle to the top, really.
Confirmation of what Al was saying. Just a little bit cooler than it has been on the first 2 days, and the wind a little bit stronger, and a little change in direction coming from northeast.
Yeah, we had a delay earlier today as well from thunderstorms, so the draw did change a little, which can throw some players when you're expecting to go out at 10 o'clock and then it was redraw and you might be on a different tee or something like that. So it was a tricky morning for all of the players out there, and obviously the staff as well, getting things going.
Now, this is live, and this is how it stands. Ashok has picked up a shot. She moves to 9 under alongside Nana Madsen through 4 holes. Lydia Hall dropping back to 8 under, had a bogey on the 4th. Should mention Jade Sheffer on fire. She's playing the course back to front because of that thunder delay earlier this morning, and going really nicely at 8 under. Lydia Hall, as I mentioned, 8 under. Linda Vesberg on 7 under. She's picked up a shot today. Alex Vilat Faray, not quite the start she was looking for on day 3. She's dropped back to 5 under. Hannah Gustafsson also 5 under, dropping a shot. Connie Chen, good to see her returning to form. She's had a difficult time of late. So dropping a shot through 7 holes, back to 4 under. Ellie Givens had a lovely round of golf yesterday, putting herself in the mix. She's on 3 under. So too Olivia Cowan, the rookie from Germany. This is Nana Madsen for birdie on the 5th. This would put her in the lead at 10 under par. She's got a new putter this week, and it's really been working for her.
Caddy Nicky Hansen on the bag yet again this week. He wasn't actually on the bag for her maiden title in Pilsen, but making a reappearance. They're a great team.
Par for Madsen. her 5th of the round. She stays at 9 under.
Currently at 1 over par for her day. Lydia will remain there.
She only had 1 bogey in her first 2 rounds, but bogeyed the 4th this afternoon. To the 11th, and Christine Wolfe, level par. Using the slope of the green to bring the ball in towards the pin. Lovely approach from Christine Wolfe.
3 bogeys on the card for Christine today. A chance to get one back there. We've got some interesting pairings out there this afternoon. This one, Annabelle Dimmick playing alongside someone who I dare say would have been one of her idols growing up, Caroline Headwall. An experienced player as well on the LET, and Alex Follett-Ferret. You've got the big hitting Nana Madsen playing alongside Aditi Ashok and Lydia Hall, who's, as he said, been out with an injury to her anterior cruciate ligament, I believe. Had surgery on that last year.
From just off the putting surface. Follett-Ferret had a wild first round with 7 birdies, 3 bogeys, double on 15. But reined it in yesterday, played a little bit more within herself and carded a 67, but not quite firing on all cylinders today. Left herself a bit to do.
Her putting's really what's been keeping Alex in the mix this week so far. A little lacklustre yesterday with 32 putts on the card, but generally putts per green in regulation on the 1.63 mark, which is pretty good with greens this size. They are massive greens here at Doha Golf Club.
On the 6th, Nana Madsen.
Carry on that bunker's 228 yards. That won't be an issue for Nana. She's averaging up around the 290 mark this week. Sneaky long.
Just finding the rough though, and that's caused problems for the players. Lequin on the 10th. Good judgment from her.
Currently 1 under par for her round today, turned in 35.
To get within 2 of the lead. She too is short.
You can hear that wind really starting to pick up on our external mics out on the golf course. Those trees starting to move a little bit more, so that's going to become more of a factor the longer we stay out on the back nine.
This part of the world does have a windy season, and we're just starting it, and it does tend to pick up during the afternoon. We saw Christine Wolfe's approach to 11. Can she finish it off with a birdie? Par for the Wolf.
winner in Germain just a few weeks back. And Van Dam.
A winner in Germain.
Yeah, important for her to take advantage of her length out here this week. A couple of reachable par fives. And it's going to be another dropped shot for Alex Ferret. That's going to be bogey number 3 on the scorecard for her.
5 behind the lead now. So an untidy start from the Parisian. Wind is strengthening.
There's not a lot of protection out on this golf course as well. You can see a few trees out there, but the way that it plays, it really is quite exposed. And it does get pretty dusty out there as well.
Was that Annabelle Dimmock that was in the way? She moves. Headwall for par. She stays at 6 under.
I always felt when I was playing that, provided no one was moving, they could practically stand as close to me as they wanted to on the greens. But it's funny how different players are sometimes a little skittish. I know Arthur Munoz, one that's very easy to throw off with noise.
Jorgensen on 9, had a bogey on 8. This to repair the damage. Consider it done. Dimmock stays at 8 under, slightly unusual putting style.
Interesting, she always seems to have the toe up, Annabelle, which is in direct contrast to someone like Nana Madsen, who you'll see with the toe down. She stands a little bit more upright, so there's plenty of ways to get it done. Left hand low here for Chloe Lercan. Part of the Belgian contingent at the Olympics earlier this year.
Little shake of the head from Chloe Lercan. 2 birdies on the front 9. Ashok, joint leader. All aboard the Ashok Express is what you said.
One-way ticket to the top for Aditi. In direct contrast, left off the tee here. Better check the bottom of that golf club.
Oh, that didn't sound good at all from Lydia Hall. So if you do stray, there are problems.
Looked as though it was on a bunch of rocks over there on the left. It just kind of bounced through. It almost hit something half a foot behind the ball, seemingly.
Just about made the fairway, so mission accomplished. Now from the rough, Madsen.
Well, she certainly dug that one out, didn't she?
She had to.
It's going to stay up on that back ridge, though.
Awkward putt coming up for Madsen. Lost her balance at the end there. She swings hard.
She actually does it quite a bit, even from the fairway. If you watch her, she really is so aggressive through the ball.
And Van Dam moves to 6 under. Two birdies and a bogey on her front 9, out in 35. Lydia Hall from the fairway.
I've got to say, it's lovely to see Lydia back in contention. Winner back in 2012 at the ISPS Hunter Ladies British Masters at the Buckinghamshire. Been ridden with injury ever since.
This is her third.
Well, that's a bit mean not to come back there.
I was expecting it to roll back towards the pin. A little bit unlucky for Lydia Hall, and she has a downhill putt for par. New caddy on the bag this week for her. Paul Doherty, a professional player himself. Aditi Ashok and Nana Madsen hold a one-shot lead. They're on 9 under par. 3 players on 8 under. The experienced Linda Vesberg, 7 under par. Anne Van Dam, Becky Morgan, Melanie Jorgensen and Pamela Pretzwell pressing. Noura Tamadin and Caroline Headwell also 6 under par. France and Belgium, Chiquel Betin and Lurkin on 5 under. Noria Etorius, a winner on tour this year, 4 under par, alongside the more experienced Gladys Nocera, Florentina Parker. Ashley Simons got a little bit of form of late.
Yeah, perhaps due to such a nice part of her life at the moment, getting married in December to her caddy and fiancé Dave, who's also out here this week. Had a hens party about a week and a half ago back in South Africa as well, so nice to see she survived that and is in some decent
that is
form.
The word, isn't it? So we saw Madsen muscling it out of the rough. She has this for birdie on the 6th. The weight was good.
It's an interesting putt there from past the hole on 6 because the lower tier does fall down to the right of the screen as we're looking at it from this direction, so you think it's going to go left on that ridge, but it actually straightens out. Becky Morgan, 3rd shot into 10. 10th hole playing the 2nd easiest on the golf course yesterday, 4.79. Playing alongside one of her best friends today, Sarah Kemp.
Hall for par. Now this starts off downhill. And as you can see, she's aiming well left of the hole.
It was a good read, just needed a few more rolls. It's going to be a tough day for Lyd to hang in there, given that she's playing alongside Aditi, who is, well, debatably, potentially the best putter on tour at the moment. Just have to wait for them to drop.
Headwell. Right at the pin. This for the lead. She's got it. Ashok motoring at 10 under par. 2 birdies in 3 holes. She was so upbeat yesterday after a round.
She's an upbeat kind of person. She's lovely to talk to. I caught up with her at breakfast this morning. Mum and Dad are out, Mash and Ashok as well, who is on the bag. Alex Foray staring this one down. That's why. That'll roll out nicely.
Just needs to stem the bleeding, Vilat Faray. 3 bogeys on her front 9 so far. Madsen, after that awkward first putt, for par. Confident stroke.
You can see the group waiting behind there as well. That's the first group off the other side of the golf course, and I believe that might actually be Jade Schaefer playing alongside Lena Bokvist and Ursula Wikström as well.
Becky Morgan rolls one in. Moves to 7 under. 4th birdie of her round.
We were keeping a close eye on Becky at the Scottish Open. Really thought it might have been her time for a breakthrough win on the LET. Not to be. In the mix again this week. Vestberg coming up short there on 8. Right part of the green at least, which is really key on this golf course with such massive greens. You need to be in the right quadrant. Well, the 8th hole playing 173 yards today. Pin all the way back, 40 paces on, just 6 from the right. So you can see a lot of water guarding that left side. That's going to be tricky with perhaps a Sunday pin tomorrow. And that bunker over there on the right-hand side, and quite thick rough around that back right corner as well. So have to hit this green.
Here's our leader, Ashok. She's found another fairway. Practicing her irons after her round yesterday, saying that what is needed on this course, if you can get onto the green, get it close, there are birdies to be made. All pars so far for Nana Madsen.
Opting for the smart play here on 7. There is bunkers all the way along that left side, and there's one down there around the 267 mark, which would be in play for someone of Nana Madsen's length. Opting to stay short of those.
Two of 3 on the fairway. Lydia Hall to go.
A really nice, simple, solid swing, Lydia. Not too many moving parts. That one is going to leak right, and it looked as though it nestled down a little bit as well.
Good example of what can happen in the rough. And it looks nice and fluffy on top, but underneath is
what
where
lies
the ball
below.
goes. Yes. Caroline Headwell to take a step in the right direction. par for Caro.
It's been an interesting year for Carol out on the LPGA. Missed 12 of 18 cuts, but did have a 5th place finish in the Yokohama Tire LPGA Classic back in May, so that kind of kept her in the mix over there.
Did well in the Sanya. 2nd. Annabelle Dimmock had a terrific round in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago, and she's going along well here at 8 under. This would put her within 1 of the leader, Aditi Ashok. Dimmock will take her time with that. She's another one who's had injury problems. Had to go back to Q School to qualify for this year's tour. It's a very good putt from Anne van Dam.
It was nice to see Anne break through with that win in Jarman, especially after the year that she'd had. She got into the Netherlands team for Rio. They opted not to take herself and Crystal Bolly on because they were outside the top 100 in the world, which for any other sport that might be applicable, but we all know that golf can change so quickly, and someone, you know, around the 400 on the rankings can win each week, so it really keeps you guessing.
Half a Dimmock. Yes, very unfair, and I think the selectors would probably be a little embarrassed, you know, Anne van Dam having won, and it would have been great experience for her as well. I mean, you know, this is what you want. You want young players to be able to experience a tournament like that. It's so new, and
they weren't the only country to do it as well. New Zealand also opted not to take Catherine Bristow. Just Lydia Ko. She did all right though. She played okay at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. This is our leader. Wow. Practice pays off.
Watch this space. I'm telling you, she's got the temperament for it as well. Such a lovely family.
Vespo to get within 2 of the lead. Nice and straight. Lovely putt.
Number 3 of the day for Linda. Just the one drop shot on the card on the 5th hole.
Lydia Hall is already on the green along with Ashok. The head and shoulders belong to Nana Madsen. Excellent control from Madsen. She was telling us about her putter yesterday. She's had a putter that she's used for 8 years, and she's been working really hard, but just fancied a change, and it's working for her. She has another look at birdie. Excellent view of the 8th hole. That would have looked good in the air.
She's got a really nice golf swing, Annabelle Dimmick. Very powerful move, a really long hitter. She was the #1 amateur for Great Britain and Ireland when she turned professional, and kind of one of those players yet to kick on, obviously, with those back injury issues.
Debilitating, aren't they?
We call it prehabilitation on tour. You've just got to try and get ahead of the injuries, because eventually, you know, something's going to happen. You might pick up your golf bag the wrong way or something like that. So easy.
Headwell looking for a 3rd birdie in a row on this hole. To the heart of the green.
Her issues this year really stemmed from the tee. Was ranked 149th in driving accuracy over in the States. Her iron play's always been absolutely immaculate, particularly her wedges. Mark Wallington, who's on the bag for Annabelle Dimmick, used to talk to me when he was on the bag for Caroline Headwell about how she could stop it almost within a foot of where she wanted it when she was on point.
Wow. Lydia Hall, who's dropped a couple of shots so far. This to get back to 8 under.
Decent season, led, tied for 5th in Jarmen about 7 weeks ago, tied for 6th in Pilsen, so she's been lurking, but she's moving the wrong direction on moving day.
Ahead in 11, Becky Morgan. Setting up another birdie opportunity. Back to the leading group and Nana Madsen.
This one should move just a little bit from Nana Madsen's right to her left. You always know how Nana Madsen's feeling on the golf course, don't you?
She wears her heart on her sleeve, doesn't she?
I think on her sleeve and on her shorts and sometimes on her shoes.
A face like thunder.
Well, she plays with a lot of passion, high intensity. Gonna go try and find a snack, perhaps, over there. Take a moment to cool off.
Ashok to extend her lead. To 2 shots. It's almost mechanical.
She putts with her glove on as well, which you don't see too much of on tour, but she just has so much confidence on the green.
Consecutive birdies, 3 and 4 holes, and a 2-shot lead for the Indian Open champion. Anna Nordqvist. Putting uphill and coming up a touch short. Been so consistent, Anna Nordqvist. We talk about injuries. She's someone who manages that really well with hard work in the gym. Problems here for Vinat Ferre.
Just getting a little help there, courtesy of Kirsty Taylor, one of our LET rules officials. Always on hand when needed. Kirsty Fisher, I should say.
Oh, Becky Morgan has rolled another one in. She moves to 8 under, 3 behind the leader. Confirmation of Aditi Ashok's 2-shot lead. She's on 11 under par, Madsen on 9 under. Becky Morgan, as we saw, has moved to 8 under. Leaderboard will be updated. Jad Schaffer going along very nicely, 8 under, alongside Linda Vesberg and Annabelle Dimmock. Becky Morgan on 8 under as well. Lydia Hall struggling a little bit, trying to recapture that form she had on the first 2 days, a 67 on the opening day, a 68 yesterday. It's proving a little bit elusive today. Three South Africans, there or thereabouts. Nicole Garcia, Connie Chen. Ashley Simon also on the second page of the leaderboard. Vesberg on the 9th, back towards the clubhouse, the Doha Golf Club. One of the first courses to be built in the Middle East, designed by Peter Harradine.
So guys, just stand really still behind the hole. Okay, make sure you're not moving.
Further distractions for Caroline Headwell, not a player this time.
Caddy Jeff Brighton just doing a little crowd control there.
Short, quick stroke from Headwell. And from one Swede to another. World number 14. Saves par and stays at 2 under. Dimmock for birdie. Which would give her a share of second.
Made 4 of 9 cuts this year. Annabelle threw out a brilliant 8 under 64 in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago, so finding some form. Bit of a hold up here, however, for the lead group back on the tee.
I think Vilat Ferret waited for a ruling, didn't she, which may have delayed things. Headwell makes par after overcooking her first putt on the 8th. 5 behind the leader.
She too threw out a final round 64. Hers was in Scotland. Caroline Headwell.
There was a penalty for Vilat Ferret, and she has to settle for bogey on the 8th. Fourth bogey for Vilat Ferret. Safely in for par for Dimmock, who had a really good sense of how high the toe is.
Yeah, and usually what that means is it's not a straight back, straight through stroke. It is on an arc. It has to move from square back inside when you have the putter head so far away from you.
It looks like the toe is digging in from Linda Vesberg. Completely different style of putting.
It's been a good year for Linda. She was ranked 575 in the world in April, and she jumped up to 266 by September. So talk about having a good summer. Not bad from the 36-year-old Swede.
Ashok, with a birdie on 7, has the honour. Decision to make there, I think.
Yeah, she's not the longest of players, Aditi, which is why she relies so heavily on her putter. She averages up around the 230 mark off the tee, so it's going to be important for her to stay patient playing alongside longer hitters in Lydia Hall and Nana Madsen today. Just an iron in hand here for Nana. 173 yards to that back right corner today. Wind into off the right just a little bit. I think this one's headed left. Finds the green safely nonetheless.
Third to go is Lydia Hall. Wind tugging at the flag. She's played a delightful tee shot, has Lydia Hall. By far the best of the three.
Might set up her first birdie of the day, perhaps. Currently it's her playing partner with a 2-shot lead.
Madsen started the day at 9 under, as did Lydia Hall. And Hall 2 over for the day. Ashok 3 under. She is the form player. Vesper tickles one in to stay at 8 under, 3 off the lead.
3-time winner on the LET, but the last one was back in 2009, I believe, in Austria.
They have quite a walk from the 9th green to the 10th tee, past the clubhouse.
The facilities here at Doha Golf Club really are quite incredible. They have an academy here on site, and there's quite a surprising push towards really growing women's golf in this part of the world. I've noted it over in Dubai and some other countries, Oman as well, putting the time in.
Jorgensen will drop a shot. Goes back to 5 under.
For a long time it was Malene Jorgensen and Lena Vidal who were the two clear standout Danish players. And then along comes Nicole Brock-Larsen, Nana Madsen and Emily Pedersen. So the youngsters are coming through now, but Malena's such a great ball striker.
She's thinking about going back to college, perhaps mixing golf with education over the next year or so, see how it works out, an eye to the future. This is our leader Ashok, who opted to chip that. She has that for par.
It's an interesting concept, studying on tour. It's something we're a bit more familiar with over in the US with the US college system. I played over at Duke University, so the structure was there in place and you were playing with other people that were studying, so you could help each other along, particularly on the road. But it is tricky to do in this part of the world when, you know, you might be rooming with someone that perhaps isn't studying and, you know, wants to go out for dinner and those kind of things. So it's tough to balance, but it's nice to hear that Malena's got those aspirations.
Madsen just about pin high. It looks fairly flat.
If anything, it might move a little from Nana's left to her right. That part of the green does slope from that back edge back towards the centre of the green.
Within one of the leader. Still looking for her first birdie of the day. As we saw on the previous hole, getting a little bit frustrated. take her time. Have a little think about things.
It's been an interesting year for the Danes. Obviously, Nana Madsen and Emily Pedersen going head-to-head for the Rookie of the Year title last year, and then went head-to-head yet again for that second Danish Olympic spot earlier this year. And it was all up in the air going down to Pilsen, and Nana Madsen did exactly what she needed to do. Went out, won, and ended up with spot number 2.
Lydia Hall is also looking for her first birdie of the afternoon. Looking to regain one of those 2 drop shots. Another roll. Needed. Par for Lydia Hall after a terrific tee shot on the 8th. Little shake of the head after a last look. Ashok to maintain her 2-shot lead. She just can't miss.
That's what I'm talking about in regards to Lydia Hall staying patient alongside someone like Aditi. Lyd just can't buy a putt right now, and Aditi is pouring them in. That one for par, but 3 under par for the day so far.
Madsen for par. To stay at 9 under, to stay within 2 of Ashok. Level par. Through 8 holes. She's being patient, having to be patient.
Patience is not optional, especially on a day like today.
Heading 5 knots.
Yeah, heading back towards the clubhouse now. On the other side of the lake, there on the left of screen, is the 18th hole. They both track back towards the clubhouse. Great stadium finish on 18 as well. Brilliant back 9 on this golf course. I have to say it's easily one of the best layouts I've seen in this part of the world, in the Middle East, no doubt.
Well, the men have been coming here for 18 years, and they really, really do enjoy it.
Let's take a look at the par 5 9th hole, playing 516 yards today. Wind coming off the left. Important to drive it up this right-hand side if you can, to give yourself a nice angle to either a layup or the left side of that green, which, as you can see, a lot of undulation. The pin today well in the back, 41 paces from the front of the green. So it's all important to get it on the right section. You can see well guarded there by water and a bunker as well.
Headwall's approach. She'll have that for birdie.
Ball sitting well down for Alex Villat-Ferret.
Sounded like a good contact. That's not too shabby from there.
It's an interesting grain of grass, really, the Bermuda 419 grass that's around here on the golf course, because it has quite a long stem, and then the leaves are at the top. So if the ball stays on top of the leaves at the top, then you can catch a few flyers. But if it burrows its way down toward the root system, well, it's tough to judge.
Very hard wearing grass, and it can get a little bit grainy on the greens. We saw that in Abu Dhabi. Less so here in Doha. Oh, beautifully played by Annabelle Dimmock. That's a kick-in birdie.
That's got to be shot of the day so far. Nearly holing out.
Here's how it stands as we approach the halfway stage on day 3 of the Qatar Ladies Open. Aditi Ashok has a 2-shot lead. Becky Morgan and Nana Madsen on 9 under. Jade Schaffer playing the course the wrong way round due to the thunderstorms earlier this morning. Terrific round from her. 8 under. Just a few holes to go. Alongside Linda Vesberg and Annabelle Dimmock. I suspect Annabelle Dimmock will not be on 8 under for long. Lydia Hall, not quite the front 9 that she was hoping for, but still in the mix. Georgia Hall, who's been in terrific form. One of those on 5 under.
You have to think it's just a matter of time before Georgia Hall picks up a win on tour. Brilliant player. Had a win earlier this year at the Victorian Open on the Australian Series.
Here is Scheffel. 7 under. He just slides away.
How about that front 9 from Jade? 31, 5 birdies, 4 of which were consecutive between 13 and 16. Then made the turn, picked up another shot on the 2nd and the 4th hole. She is absolutely firing.
That's why it's called moving day. She has made her move. Still got a couple of holes to play, so get herself into an even better position. As predicted, Annabelle Dimmock does move to 9 under par, within 2 of the lead. What an approach shot.
Becky Morgan on the 13th, 145 yards to the pin today. That one nearly knocking the flagstick out. A little unlucky there. It's going to be a tricky chip back.
We'll pass the hole again from Headwell. The marker you can see just to the right of Caroline Headwell's ball is the Lat Falaise. She has that for par. So too does Headwell. To stay at 6 under. Level through 9. Looking to step it up a notch. On the back nine. Apart from Vilat Faray, she really has struggled on her front nine. 4 bogeys, 4 over, 3 under for the tournament.
Jade Schaefer's ball did cling to the left side of the 8th green. An outside chance here for birdie number 8 of the day. Oh, wow. And a great effort it was. She is certainly got her ducks in a row.
Fairly conservative choice of headwear today.
Usually wears quite flashy shoes and fedora-style hats, Jad. Maybe with the rain potentially looming, thought she'd go for a more practical choice.
Very sensible.
That checked up quickly. Perhaps a little heavy with the contact there from Linda Vestberg.
Ashok to the right, our leader by 2. Lydia Hall and her caddy in an animated discussion as they wait for Nana Madsen. The other two have laid up. I wonder if this is going to be a little bit more adventurous from Nana Madsen. She's looking. Could be an awkward stance.
To put it kindly. It could be an awkward stance. It could be a dreadful lie from the looks of it as well, but she's up there. They look like some of my dance moves, what she's doing with her hands there. Very animated.
One more. Okay.
Morgan to get within one of the leader. Just about guarantees a par. Par it is for Becky Morgan. Her heyday was a few years ago, but such a steady player.
Quite amazing she hasn't picked up a win on tour, to be honest with you. Always in the mix. Great golf swing there from Annabelle Dimick.
She's laced that one down the middle. Growing in confidence. Just inside the top 100 on the order of merit, so a good week needed.
Yeah, it's an interesting system, and everyone starts looking at the order of merit this time of year with just a few events left on the schedule, but you do have to play a minimum of 6 events to be eligible. So she's 98th, but she will pick up a few spots when those players drop out of the rankings.
Looking to make the top 80.
Absolutely. Top 80 keep their full card for 2017. That one headed a little left for Caro Headwall.
Ashok having laid up to the 9th green. She has a 2-shot lead. Would she have hoped to get that one a little bit closer, perhaps from that distance?
Perhaps, but her iron play today's been pretty spot on so far.
It was dead straight, wasn't it?
And she's left it on the right side of the hole as well. Short, can be aggressive with a birdie chance.
Lydia Hall trying to get things going. G2 is a touch short. Both have birdie putts to come on this par 5 ninth. On the par 5 10th, Vesberg for birdie. What kind of club would you be looking to take here?
I think it depends on the lie a little bit. You want to use something with a bit of bounce, usually, through the rough. Try and keep that club head moving. Essentially, from a lie like that, it's almost, you know, a controlled chunk. You know you're going to take a lot of grass. You have to keep that club head moving through the ball. That's number one priority always. Seems to be taking quite a lofted club though here, Nana. Wants to carry this all the way to the green.
The gamble didn't pay off.
Nearly taking out Aditi Ashok's bag there. No penalty for hitting someone else's bag. There is if you hit your own bag, of course.
The bad news is it's still sitting down in the rough, but on the other side of the green. It's close to the bag.
Pretty sure that wasn't the plan for the young Dane. The three most dreaded words in golf. Still you.
Those are 2 words.
I think I said, did I say it's? I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes. Okay. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Calling for it to go. Annabelle Dimmick just coming up shy in 2 on the par 5 10th hole.
Back to Madsen. Madson's mood darkens.
I'm surprised Nikki didn't run in the other direction there.
Oh. She does have a tendency to do this, and must be difficult for the caddy and the playing partners. This is the reaction.
Good chip.
Very difficult situation for the caddy.
It's funny because Nikki's actually, you know, quite an affable guy, and they really do have the yin and yang balance. So obviously trying to calm Nana down a little bit there.
And on it goes. Meanwhile, Ashok for a 3-shot lead.
That's the first lackluster putt we've seen from Aditi all day.
What kind of effect does it have on your playing partners when someone is losing their temper?
Well, you've got two choices. You can get dragged into it, or you can laugh about it. And I know Lydia definitely would be laughing. Oh, still waiting on that first putt to drop though. She's going to turn 2 over par, 38.
To be fair, Lydia has more experience than Aditi at perhaps dealing with these situations. She's been around the block a few times. Aditi, a newcomer, a rookie. So Madsen to putt. Apologies if you heard any colourful language.
My Danish isn't great, but I'm guessing she wasn't talking about how good the food is in the players' lounge. Which, by the way, it is absolutely delicious this week. The staff at the golf club doing a brilliant job.
You've been living in there.
There's also a Belgian cafe up in the hospitality area. Yet to go and track that down, but it sounds delicious.
She keeps her cool and makes par. But only after blowing up at the caddy.
Annabelle Dimick from short of the green on 10. Can hear the frustrations. Really needed to land that one at least 5 paces onto the green. The pin today on 10, 21 paces on, 9 from the right.
Ashok makes par. She stays 11 under, maintains her 2-shot lead. And she's out in 33. 3 birdies.
Guys, behind, stand still, please.
Not for the first time. Headwall is distracted. Trying to read the green is Linda Vesberg. I was chatting to Kylie Walker's coach earlier in the week, and we were talking specifically about putting because it's something that Kylie Walker has been working on quite a lot. And I said, well, what about left-hand low? And he said, well, I don't mind what any player wants to do, but it's about the rhythm. You know, it's getting the rhythm. And when you see the difference in style between, say, Annabelle Dimmock and Linda Vesberg, there's all sorts of ways of doing it. But I think the better players all have a similar rhythm, don't they?
You know, it depends which part of the world you grew up in as well, because for those that grew up on grasses like Zoysia, Paspalum, it requires a bit more of a poppy stroke to get the ball going than it does on bent grass, which is it's a little bit more of a fluid swing. You'd have to say it's an opportunity missed there for someone of Annabelle Dimmock's length. Just 463 yards today, the 10th hole. Very attackable. And it's going to be a par.
Short with her second, short with the third, and short with the fourth. Becky Morgan. To get to 10 under. Is it going to turn? Par for Morgan. Stays at 9 under. Schiffer on the 9th, her last hole. She's got it today.
That's going to be a putt for a 64, I believe.
Well, Caroline Headwell was up out of that putt very quickly. It's an opportunity missed for the Swede. The leading group have just started the back 9, and it's Aditi Ashok who leads on day 3 of the Qatar Ladies Open. She's on 11 under par, 2 strokes ahead of the field. Becky Morgan on 9 under, 4 under for the day. Annabelle Dimmock. And the volcanic Nana Madsen. All of them on 9 under. We've just seen Jade Scheffer on her last hole. She's on 8 under. Terrific day for her, 7 under. With just the 9th to finish off. Caroline Headwell missing that opportunity on 10. Staying at 6 under. Plenty of players on 5 under. A few of them looking for big weeks here in Doha. Having a top 80 place in the back of their minds. And a card for next year. half the field playing the course the wrong way round due to thunderstorms this morning. The organisers holding off the start and splitting the field. But sitting pretty is Aditi Ashok on 11 under par. This is the 10th hole.
It's a nice par 5, good opportunity to pick up the first birdie of the back 9. Those 2 bunkers on the left not really coming into play, 214 to carry those. If you can hit it up somewhere up the centre of this fairway, it's going to give you a great look at the hole location today, which is over on that right side, pretty much in the middle of that right section of the green, but there is a huge swale and a big steep rise in front of the green, so you do need to land it almost on the front edge to get it anywhere near that hole location in 2. Not too bad over the back though, so that's potentially a place to be today. Chip back towards the pin.
Generous fairway, the 10th.
There are a lot of generous fairways, and it's interesting talking to a lot of the players. They say that it's important to hit the fairways just because of how penalising the rough can be. But when you actually look at the stats, it's a little different to that, because you've got Nana Madsen, who has been hitting the ball very well. She's up around the 89% of green and regs. And then Lydia Hall was 94. Annabelle Dimmick was 94% as well. So the greens are massive. They're easy to hit, even if your fairway striking isn't the best. You have to putt well, and that's what this young girl, 18-year-old on screen, is certainly doing this week. Just 27 putts yesterday. Just iron in hand, presumably a layup there for Aditi.
Really enjoying life.
They're a nice family. Mother Mash and Father Ashok there. Out on tour, they all travel together.
Madsen 2 from the rough. She's there for 2. Through the trees is Lydia Hall. Schäfer for birdie to get to 9 under. Back for a 65. Thumbs up from Jade Schäfer. She's put herself in the frame with a terrific round of golf.
That's the low round of the week so far. A few 66s out there, but that's the first 65 we've seen out at Doha Golf Club.
7 birdies, and some contrast to her opening round where she was spraying it around all over the place. But she's put it together on day 3, and she has moved up some considerable distance on the leaderboard. She is the clubhouse leader on 8 under. 3 behind this lady, Aditi Ashok.
It's a nice story of how Aditi got into golf. the father and mother wanted to do something as a family, wanted to find something they could all do together, Aditi being an only child, and so they went out to the golf course, and at the age of 5.5, Aditi walked onto the links for the first time, and by the age of 6 months and 6 years and 2 months, she was playing full 18 holes off the ladies' tees, and she finished her first round, and then she said, "Can we go do that again?"
A star is born. Her third to the 10th. Safely on. I think she's getting used to all the attention as well. Seems to be able to take it in her stride, probably because of her family being very grounded. And
grounded's a very good word for it. Obviously bursting onto the scene at the Rio Olympics, really popped up on a few international radars there.
Well, this lady burst onto the scene in 2011, the LET Rookie of the Year in 2011 with 4 wins.
Also the Player of the Year in 2011. Not a bad title to pick up.
That's a brilliant shot.
Right on cue, Caroline Hedvold. I think perhaps she's best remembered for that 5 record-breaking wins at the 2013 Solheim Cup at Colorado Golf Club.
Incredible performance.
Only person to do that. Tough shot here for Alex Villatte for Ray. The wind's kind of helping off the left, but the pin's over on the right, so very tricky with those overhanging trees to get anywhere near that.
Overcooked her tee shot. Esberg found the rough off the tee, so this is her 3rd shot on the par 4 12th. Right at the pin. Madsen. Chip shot from Madsen. She seemed to even lose her balance on that shot, and it's a little half swing. Is that a technical fault? Is that fault is the right word?
Sometimes it's just patterns, to be honest with you. It's muscle memory, and when you get a lot of movement in your lower body like that, it's hard to rectify the situation.
Dimmock on 11. Another lovely iron shot from Annabelle Dimmock.
Becky Morgan, her second, into the slight dogleg right, 15th. Finished 102nd on the LPGA money list this year, just outside that top 100 exemption, so that one stung.
Not one of Lydia Hall's better efforts, as she's still searching for that first birdie. Just hanging on in there.
Some of the cool characters out here at Doha Golf Club. Incredible how many staff are on site, so helpful here. Whenever you need something, there seems to be 5 people there willing to get it done.
Ashok on 10 for birdie. This for a 3-shot lead. Oh, it's another one from Aditi Ashok. Incredible. She moves to 12 under. More daylight between her and the rest of the field. The 4th birdie of the day.
I know she's 4 under for the day, but she's one of those players that can post some seriously low numbers. She actually equalled the men's course record at Samana, which is over in Morocco, where the LETQ school is held. She broke the record for that. She shot 62. It's not too shabby, is it?
No.
Lowest Q school score ever as well. It was 23 under par. Incredible play.
This would improve the mood of Madsen. Lovely putt. She gets to 10 under. 2 off the lead. Nearly a smile. Perhaps a couple more of those. And we'll have a smile from Nana Madsen. Ah, that's a smile.
1 in a row.
Dimmock to join Madsen on 10 under. Perfect from Annabelle Dimmock. 3rd birdie of the day for her. Aditi Ashok is not going to have it all her own way. Lydia Hall rolls that one in for par. Edwell rolls in a birdie. She moves to 7 under. Just get the feeling she needed that just to stay in touch.
We all know that Caro Headwall is very capable of posting rounds in the low 60s, so job number 1 for today is keep yourself in the mix, especially with some of the leaders having some rough rounds out there as well. We've got a Lydia Hall at 2 over par, Alex Villatte-Ferré at 3 over par.
A couple of moments ago, Becky Morgan was joint 2nd. She's now all alone in 3rd place. But this would get her to 10 under. Have you spoken to Becky this week?
I saw her a little bit early on. I haven't seen her the last few days, but talking to her a little bit about the grasses on the golf course and how it plays out of the thick rough. Well, let's take a look at the 11th hole, par 4, playing 373 yards. These bunkers on the right, not really coming into play. It's a sharp dog leg left. You need to take on the trees with the drive to set up a nice angle here into this back right hole location. That bunker quite deep, up around the waist to shoulder level, so you want to stay away from that if you can, but important to be below and short left of the hole to give yourself the best birdie chance today. And then the green just surrounded by rough all the way around the left and the back.
A lot of waste ground to go over on the tee shot, but it won't faze these players.
You can see that cart path over on the left-hand side now. Aditi's got fairway wood in hand, so she's going to try and hug that corner, but I know that Anne Van Dam took driver, took it right over that corner and had just a short pitch in earlier in the week.
Middle of the fairway for Ashok.
Conservative play, but it is playing a little downwind off the left today, so you need to be careful not to run through the fairway where we saw Alex Ferret a few moments ago. It is one of those rare holes in golf where you step on the tee and you've got no idea where the green is.
Yeah, blind shot, yeah. Just an iron for Lydia Hall.
Not the best angle, but that'll be fine. Stayed on the fairway.
Morgan stays at 9 under, 3 behind the leader, Aditi Ashok. I just wondered whether Becky had said what she was thinking of doing next year, having missed out on an automatic tour card.
She's been based in the States for so long that she's kind of created a life for herself there, so it would be a lot of travel back and forth from Europe if she was to play more on the LET, but it might be better for her golf to do so.
Better balance this time from Nana Madsen. Picks the tee peg up.
It's a hard thing to do, to balance two tours like Becky Morgan, Felicity Johnson, Stacey Keating have been doing for the last few years. I know Stacey's intentions to play a full year out on the LET next year in 2017.
That's back for par on 12. Oh, she's going to drop a shot. Having found the rough with her drive. A superb exhibition of putting from Aditi Ashok has given her a 2-shot lead. She's on 12 under. Annabelle Dimmock and Nana Madsen giving chase. Jade Sheffer, our clubhouse leader, with a 65, magnificent round of golf from the 2-time winner on the Ladies European Tour.
Last 3 starts from Jade have been a withdrawal, a missed cut and a 55th. So she's certainly pulled one out of the bag today.
A shot ahead of compatriot Sophie Giquel-Betain. 7 under through 16 holes, alongside Linda Vesberg, Caroline Hedwell and Lydia Hall. Plenty of players on 5 under. Whitney Hillier, of Australia.
Olivia Cowan and Georgia Hall making nice moves today. 3 under and 4 under, respectively, for their rounds.
Not the afternoon that Alex Villatte-Ferré was hoping for. Dropped 3 shots through 11 holes and back to 4 under.
This is on 12, a sharp dogleg round to the right. This is the ball of Caroline Headwall. Came up just short of that bunker that guards the right corner. 224 to carry that back into the breeze today.
We saw her muscle one out on the previous hole. She's given this one some welly as well. And played a fine shot. Didn't want to flirt with the wasteland just below the green.
It's quite penalising. It is almost like a rock wall in front of the green on 12.
Beautiful shot from Lydia Hall. Sets up another birdie opportunity. She's still looking for her first of the round, though.
When you look at Lydia's swing in comparison to Nana's, Lyd's she's got such beautiful balance in her golf swing. She always finishes at the same point, looks to be completely moving as one unit.
Our leader by 2. Not up to the usual high standard.
Just half a club or so off there. But she's
Mind you,
picking
you
out.
wouldn't better.
She's
better
picking out the
guess that,
favourite
yeah.
club in the bag as we speak. That thing's like a laser.
Nana Madsen has calmed down a little bit. Birdie on 10.
She's thrown this one way up in the air, just cleared that bunker. Bit of luck there for the fiery Dane. Nice drive here by Annabelle Dimmick. Ooh,
Nice approach shot from Annabelle Dimmock too.
very tidy.
She's threatening. She's at 10 under, 2 behind the leader.
It's really the tale of 3 different players in this final group, and 3 different days for them so far out on this Friday, round 3 here at Qatar Ladies Open.
Normal relations restored between Nana Madsen and her caddy.
Big putt back across the green here for Caroline. We'll move right to left.
Good pace. Par for Headwell, she stays at 7 under.
In contrast to the story of Becky Morgan, Carrera Headwall finished 99th on the money list on the LPGA, just one inside that deadline.
A shot for birdie. Still a good putt. She stays at 12 under. Her lead remains at 2.
Her win in India was really fun to watch. It's important to note the fact that she's finished the Low-Am in India 3 times before. And in 2012, 2014, 2015, all of those were top 15 performances as well. So she's had success there in the past. Look at this shot.
Becky Morgan has set up a birdie opportunity on the signature hole, the 16th. This would put Madsen within 1. There's the lady in your picture, Aditi Ashok. Standing there with her father, watching on.
It was rolling end over end.
She gets the nod to tap in for par and stays at 10 under. One under for the day. Oh, they're back on knuckle nudging terms now. At last for Lydia Hall. She makes birdie. And makes it back to 8 under.
Yeah, patience paying off there for Lydia. Curling downhill putt here for Annabelle. Little lackluster.
She stays at 10 under. 2 under for the day. And this is the hole that's up next for the leaders.
12th, a big dog leg right, that bunker on the right-hand side, guarding the corner, 224 yards to carry that. So you either need to go left of it or over it. There are your 2 options. And then this massive waste bunker defending the green all the way around, in particular in the short side. And a big slopey green as well. Big mound there in the middle left of the green that is guarding the whole location today. But you cannot go long. You have to be short right of this hole, if anything. A lot of rough all the way around the green as well. Safe there by Lydia. 1 over par for her round today.
Hoping to build a little bit of momentum on this back 9. Could be a little awkward.
She doesn't generate a lot of club head speed either, so hitting out of the rough is a little bit more penalising for Aditi than it may be for someone like Nana Madsen or Lydia Hall. The green on 12 all the way around to the right past these trees. Sets up nicely for a fade.
Just where she was aiming.
I have to say, this is one of the better designed back nines I've seen in a long time as well. Very distinctive holes. You walk around it once and you can remember every single one of them off the top of your head. And that's usually a sign of a really good golf course design.
15 through 18 are terrific finishing holes.
Annabelle Dimmick here on 13. Just making it on the green on the front section. It will certainly make for an exciting finish tomorrow, those final 4 holes. 15 a longer par 4, 16 a reachable par 4, and then 17 par 3 and a attackable par 5 to finish.
Morgan to get to 10 under. She does get to 10 under, so 3 players are putting pressure on Aditi Ashok at the top of the leaderboard. Ashok at 12 under. Dimmock, Madsen and now Morgan 10 under par.
Not a bad back nine there from Becky Morgan as well. Just the 4 birdies for her in the last 7 holes. Making a big move. Aditi's played a pretty ambitious schedule the last 3 months. Playing both events on the LET, which kind of sandwiched the second stage of LPGA Q School. So she's thinking about playing both tours next year.
Going back for 3, stage 3.
She is. She gets in Sunday morning and play starts on Wednesday over in Florida. And then she's going to venture back for Dubai as well. So she's logging some serious air miles. Talking to her mother Mash, and she said if Aditi had her way she'd play 10 weeks in a row. Just loves playing golf, hates practicing but loves playing.
The confidence of youth.
I think I'd be crawling by the 10th week on the road.
Yeah, it's hard yards, isn't it, with the hotels and the travelling, and she'll learn, but it's a joy to watch her at the moment. And she's shining brightly here in Doha and leading by 2.
Oh, that was lucky. That missed that wasteland by about a metre or 2. Tough when Aditi would have had at least a 7-iron in hand there coming out of the rough. Unable to get the height required on the ball. That's not a nice spot.
No, we've seen what happens from the rough.
And that is up on a little mound that separates the front and back portion of this green. That is going to be fast.
Is she playing a little bit too aggressively? She's taking on the pins, isn't she?
Yeah, I dare say that was an unforced error. She's gone left and long of a pin where there's so much green to the right, so presumably not the plan. This one's headed left as well. That's all going to depend on the lie from up there.
Awkward shots coming up for Madsen and Hall.
Outside chance for birdie here from Annabelle Dimmick. That's a great putt.
Terrific effort from Annabelle Dimmock.
She'll remain at 2 under par for the day. 10 under for the tournament. Just 2 back from the lead. Still looming. Becky Morgan here on 17. 146 to the pin today. All the way in that back right corner. That's pretty good from there.
Headwall to get to 8 under. Oh. Is there anything she can't do?
Well, she's so solid tee to green. You know, it's nothing spectacular with her ball striking, but it gets the job done. She hits the fairways, and it's not the shortest golf course either. So just making sure you keep it on the fairway and hit these large greens, very important. You can see just hitting down on the ball a little bit there, coming out low and skipping it up towards that pin. That was a touch of class. Hall needs to just land this on the downslope. That one getting a bit of a bad kick there through the fringe.
Nearly, but not quite.
Tap in for par here for Headwall. She'll remain at 7 under. Looks as though Nana Madsen's ball's sitting a little further down on this Bermuda rough. And that was played nicely.
Better result for Madsen.
Nana Madsen's mother out supporting this week. Usually a family affair from the Madsen crew. Father sometimes comes out as well. Important par save here for Lydia Hall after that birdie on 11. Doesn't want to give it straight back here on the 12th.
Oh. Lovely roll.
She missed it on the right side as well, missing it on the high side of the hole. 9 times out of 10, gravity will do the job for you from up there, but not to be.
So that long-awaited birdie is nullified. Third bogey of the round for Lydia Hall, back to 7 under.
It's a tricky morning for Lydia because she got a text message from the tour at about 8:40 saying all players need to be on the 9 o'clock bus, and she was banking on an 11 o'clock plus tea time, so she had to get a wriggle on, but thankfully could level it out a little bit before she left. That's a missed chance for Becky Morgan on 17.
That interrupts your preparation though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, she was banking on, you know, having a normal routine in the morning, which in the end she did get to have because she found her tea time out before she left the hotel, so she could have a nice long breakfast. But it is tricky when these things kind of change your routine around a little bit.
Madsen for par. So she does get up and down and stays at 10 under.
Pretty steady scorecard in theory, perhaps if not in temperament. Encouraging words here from caddy and boyfriend Nikki Hansen.
Up and down for Ashok too. She stays at 12 under. Her lead is 2. Bogey free yesterday, bogey free today. Par for Morgan on the par 3 17th. Wind has died down a little bit.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of picking up and dropping off. And I can tell you from experience that when the rain comes in, it usually brings quite a bit of wind with it. And the storms creep up on you very quickly in this part of the world, especially in Doha. Hopefully we'll remain storm-free for the rest of the afternoon. Now, Alex Villat-Ferret on 14, up to a very raised green.
3 over for the day. She's played a terrific shot. Trees guarding the green on 14, either side.
Wind helping off the right a little bit here on 13. That's a nice safe shot from the leader.
145 yards today.
That's pretty good. Finds the small portion of green to the left of that pin position. And a nice smile. Annabelle Dimmick on 14 from the fairway. Pin over on that front left section. And that is a glorious approach.
Another one from Annabelle Dimmock.
She's making her move. 2 under par for the day with a chance to get to 3 there.
Aditi Ashok has a 2-shot lead. She's 12 under par. 3 players on 10 under. Jade Sheffer, the clubhouse leader, 65 today, 8 under par. And let's hear from Jade Sheffer, a 65 today. She's with Edgar Morse.
So you started the day in 35th position and you're currently in 5th position. So it's fair to say it was some good work out there from you today.
Yeah, it's a very good day. Oh, I play well like the 2 other day. I made a lot of putts today. And I'm just enjoy because I made the cut first. And now I'm a little bit more free because I staying on the Ladies Open Tour next year. I'm very happy.
Let's talk about your putts. I mean, certainly even on the last few holes where you didn't get the birdies, you still saved some pars out there, didn't you? The putter really was very hot.
Yeah, very hot, exactly. But for the 3-4 last holes, I'm not too close to the pin. Only on the last one, yes, and I just staying short, but it's okay. I'm very happy for my day.
Jade, I have to ask, the hat this week is not as exciting as normal. Why? Where's the good hats?
No, I don't think it's changed anything because I don't put my hat on my head because it's raining day today. Yeah, yesterday you are not here, but I have my hat normally.
Well, we expect to see your hat back tomorrow then. Well done, well played.
Thank you very much.
That was a bit unfair from Edgar. And you called it exactly right. The threat of rain was in the air, and Jade Sheffer, not wishing to put one of her expensive lids out on the course, went with a baseball cap.
I'm not sure how waterproof they are either, so perhaps a factor.
Ashok to extend her lead. Well, she's missed one and got some work to do coming back.
I wouldn't call Aditi a lag putter. She is definitely a confident stroker of the ball. That was Nicole Garcia stroking one in. It was on the 17th hole.
Dimmock to get within one of the leader. Thought about it.
Made the right turn at the right time.
She moves to 11 under par, within striking distance. Had a bogey early in her round on the second, but that's her 4th birdie. Meanwhile, on 13, Madsen to get to 11 under. Oh, she's done it as well. So the chase is on.
That was never missing. That was a beautiful putt there. All of a sudden, things are getting tight at the top. And let's not forget that Aditi Ashok has a little work left yet to do for her part. So it could be tied at the top after 13.
This is for par for Lydia Hall. Safely in, but it's been a struggle.
Still 2 over par for the round. Just the one birdie today.
Ashok to save par, to stay 1 shot ahead, and she does.
How good is that putting stroke? It is straight back, straight through. Absolutely beautiful. Becky Morgan, her 3rd into 18. Nearly knocking the flagstick out.
That's brilliant from Becky Morgan. She's feeling a bit lonely on 10 under.
What a great back nine she's putting together. Had 3 birdies early on, 3 out of the first 4 holes in fact. Dropped 2 back and then picked up 3 consecutive at the start of the front of the back nine, I should say. Her second 9.
So it's not all about the youngsters. As we take a look at the 14th.
Par 4, 356 yards, a slight dog leg, but it doesn't really play that way. And then you hit to the corner and then you head up toward this raised green, defended in the front by those 6 palm trees. The pin today over on that front left section, 19 paces on, 7 from the left, and a lot of undulation. The green runs from the back right corner to the front left corner. Don't really want to miss this one short left up by that green.
Don't have to say it 3 times. I know it's important.
Time to do the paperwork there, Nana Madsen.
Ashok goes with driver.
Perfect line here is really straight up that path you can see through the rough. Left centre. And that will be ideal for our leader. Nice big drive there from Lydia Hall up the right half of the fairway. I dare say our lead group might have just got a bit of a warning perhaps about pace of play.
Is that Steve Kavanagh or on a buggy just driving past them? They're now jogging. So they've lost touch with the group in front.
We call that the caddy run, when the arms seem to be going faster than the legs.
Steve Kavanagh leaving the scene of the crime very quickly.
Meanwhile, tour photographer Tristan Jones there, taking some happy snaps of the lead group.
And the stride has quickened. So all three of them on the fairway.
Big putt here for Becky Morgan. This one drops and it's going to be a 66 and get her to within one of the lead of Aditi Ashok.
And drop it does. That's a terrific round of golf from Becky Morgan. A 69 to 70, now a 66. This is why they call it moving day. She's one behind the leader and she is our clubhouse leader.
Well, a great reaction there from Caro Headwall to a lackluster shot there, leaking it out in that front right bunker on 15. That's not the place to be.
We went to the souk last night and there was thousands of birds for sale, all kinds of different birds.
Interesting. I know they imported 10,000 cacti as well from Arizona when they built this golf course. 65 giant cacti, might have been one of those.
Dimmock. One shot behind the leader.
Popular spot.
Very straight once again from Aditi Ashok. Madsen to 14. She's played an even better shot.
Not sure if Nana can see where that ball's finished. Oh no, she can. That was a nice shot.
Lydia Hall had the best drive. Can she get inside Madsen's ball? Very nearly.
Get the tape measure out, Nigel.
Yeah. I think I'd just give that to Madsen. Excellent work from both players. It's actually a pretty good day to watch golf, isn't it? It's not too hot.
No, it's nice out there.
Nice
It's
breeze.
not too windy either at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets windy, the dust around this golf course just seems to kick up in your eyes.
Headwall on 15.
Generally an exceptional bunker player, Caro. Just rolled out a little bit, but it was a really nice, beautiful high ball flight.
Did exactly what she wanted to. It's just a firm bounce, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Dimmock 2 is beached. She played a different kind of shot. It's a slightly better result. Contrasting styles there.
Yeah, very much so. I know that Caroline has a tendency to throw it up quite high out of almost any bunker shot.
Ashok for birdie on 14 to restore her 2-shot lead. And restored it is. She's done it again.
She walked that one in. She knew a foot short that was never missing.
She has a golden touch with the putter. 5 under for the day, 13 under for the tournament. She has a 2-shot lead. Jorgensen's approach to the final hole. Great control. She'll have that for birdie. Lydia Hall for birdie. Just needed a bit more. Didn't quite get the line right. And Madsen was just inside Lydia Hall. So Madsen for birdie.
This one just a hair right to left.
Lovely putt. Good call. Good reading of the greens, Al.
Well, it's made a lot easier by the greens book that the LET has out here. Very detailed. And a lot of the caddies choosing to put it in their back pocket. It's a handy resource, especially when there's a lot of grain around the greens.
So just when Aditi Ashok thought she was getting away from the field, Nana Madsen makes another birdie, consecutive birdies for the Dane. Back on an even keel, and she's 12 under par. Bogey for Headwall. She drops back to 6 under. Losing touch, you feel? A lot of the girls got henna tattoos in India. Saw a good example.
It was actually one of the features of the Pro-Am party earlier this week. I was having a chat with some of them and I said, oh, how long did that take?
Oh,
and
it was
like,
here,
oh,
was it? Not India? Oh,
no,
right.
it was,
Oh.
yeah, it was here actually. And the other night at the Pro-Am party. And some of them very elaborate. And I said, how long did that take? And they're like, oh, about 2-3 minutes. These people are good.
Yeah. Oh. Headwell and Dimmock pay the price for finding the bunker. On 15, both drop a shot. Headwell back to 6 under, Dimmock back to 10 under. 3 behind the leader, Aditi Ashok. And here she is on the 15th tee.
An interesting hole, the 15th. A forced layup, essentially, due to that water that's down 246 yards off the tee. No real advantage trying to go up that small, narrow part of the fairway on the left.
Driver too much for Hall.
One of the narrowest greens on the golf course here, the 15th. It's 44 paces long, but in its widest part, only about 20 paces wide.
This is a great hole, 16. You can see the rocky outcrop just to the left.
Yeah, the pin today almost up by that red sign you can see in the distance on the left.
Oh, ouch. Well, they know where it is.
The hand's gone up, thankfully. That was a bit of a game of pinball for a while there.
Headwell as well will give this a go. She's birdied and eagled this hole this week. Just hold up there, hold up, hold up. Well, she's there for one.
That's a good strike too. Not much help today. Wind just coming off the left.
We're coming towards the end of the third day of the Qatar Ladies Open. Aditi Ashok is 13 under. She leads by 1 from Nana Madsen, Becky Morgan and Annabelle Dimmock, also in the hunt. Morgan, the clubhouse leader, after a 66. A 65 from Jade Schaefer. We heard from her earlier on. Sophie Jigel Betat, one of those on 7 under after a 69. Back to 15 and Ashok.
Really tough shot here from the right rough. Well, that's not too bad. There will be a slight rise on that front right section of the green that she'll have to navigate.
We saw her get up and down on the 12th from a similar situation.
And to be fair, that shot with a hybrid could have gone anywhere out of that rough. Not a bad miss. Bit of a kinder angle here for Nana Madsen. Ideally, you'd start this one right on the 5 of 15. that camera tower behind the green.
Well, we've seen how difficult it is to make a sandy par.
She's a long way back in that bunker as well. She's right in the heart of the first greenside bunker there. It's going to be a long carry.
Vesberg for a watch. Pretty good.
Very nice. Currently at level par for her round. Chance to get back to 7 under for the tournament. The Dane, Melanie Jorgensen, slips by for birdie on 18. That's going to be a 2 under par round of 70.
Hole to 15.
Safely on.
The only one on.
He's on the air.
This is where Dimmock's ball ended up. So some deconstruction work required. As we take a look at the 16th.
This is a great little par for 269, but I mean, if you can get it to that front edge, it does require a slight draw if you have it in the bag. It's 237 to the front edge of the green, so this is a very attackable par 4. Thick rough defending all around that short left side and the rear of the green. Pin today over on that left side, just 14 paces on. So we see all hands on deck here with Steve Kavanagh, one of our rules officials, lending a hand.
Vesberg on 17 for birdie. Lovely smooth putting stroke, and she picks up a shot and moves to 7 under.
Quite a pronounced elbows out setup for Linda.
What does that give her?
I think it's really just a question of where you feel the pendulum the most. Some people feel it better when their arms aren't elongated. It brings the club a little bit closer to you and engages your core a little bit more, perhaps. Annabelle Dimmock's father there in the red shirt on the left.
Helping out.
Well, the path is clear, and this ball really could have ended up anywhere, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could. That wasn't... Was that her father who was in the red shirt who it nearly hit?
Potentially. I think he was watching quite keenly. Because it's 232 to carry that rocky outcrop that guards that front of the green. And we saw Annabelle's ball bounce off that. And as we head back to 15 green.
Madsen from the sand.
Tough shot this, needs a lot of height. Ideally landing it almost just in the fringe.
Tough par save. Ashok. Using the slope of the green. Turns away from it, doesn't like it. She has that for par. Average for her.
Yeah, but at least she's got her favourite club in hand.
Yeah.
Second shot here for Annabelle Dimmick. Caught that very heavy. So hard to judge when you're in the thick rough. It's downhill and downwind from there. Very easy to take just a little bit too much grass.
It's what makes it a brilliant golf hole though, isn't it? Risk and reward. All for birdie.
Down the hill. So move to the right at the end. Little work left to do to polish off her par.
Headwall for eagle.
Yesterday, the 16th, was playing the easiest hole on the golf course. A little over half a shot under par, 3.49.
Dimmock's third. She'll have that for par.
This one back up the slope. If anything, a hair left to right.
Bogey for Madsen. She drops back to 11 under. And that is her first bogey of the day. Just as she was building up to the big finish.
Big par save here for Ashok. It will not drop. First drop shot of the day for Aditi also.
First drop shot since her first round. So she goes back to 12 under.
Birdie putt here for Headwall. Takes advantage of her length on the short par 4 16th. Has a pretty good record there. That's birdie, eagle, birdie for the last 3 days.
It's okay.
Plenty of good memories out in the back part of the golf course.
That was straight as a die, Headwall's putt. So too Lydia Hall's. So it is a bogey for Aditi Ashok.
Important part here for Annabelle Dimick. Very hard to walk away with bogey on a reachable par 4.
Just double checking the line.
Surprised to see that Mark Wellington, her caddy's still on his feet. He has a tendency of almost doing a push-up on the greens to read the putts. One of his trademark moves.
Drop shot for Dimmock on 16. Consecutive bogeys for her.
Back on the tee, Lydia Hall, driver in hand.
Oh,
Holy mackerel, that is good.
she'll have that for eagle. Yep, it's okay, Lydia.
She can't see where that finished from there. The rocky outcrop that guards the front portion of the green actually blocks your view for really the left 75% of the green. As you can see, you can only see that little bit over there on the right. Pin today in line with the red sign in the back. But Nana Madsen, one of the biggest hitters in the field, she's just pulled her driver back 2 club lengths. You're entitled to move the ball 2 club lengths from the teeing area. And she's averaged 290 off the tee the last 2 days. So now the hole for Nana Madsen is 271 yards. She's flown that almost past the front of the green. So that's travelled about 240 yards in the air. And we'll be chipping back across the green from the right-hand side.
Perhaps a more conservative approach from Aditi Ashok.
It's a wise move for
She's opened up the
Aditi.
green, hasn't she?
Well, yeah, she doesn't have the length to carry that rocky outcrop, which is 232 off the tee. And if you can't get over that, there's no point going for it, especially on that line. So she's opened up the green. She'll have a lot of green to work with back towards the pin.
Penultimate hole for Headwall. Great shot from Caroline Headwall. She's got a good chance of consecutive birdies. As the leading group make their way to the 16th green. Lydia Hall deep in conversation with the new caddy. They just started working together this week. He's a friend from home, she says.
She'd be a good player to work for, Lyd. She's quite level-headed. She gets angry at herself at the right moments, you know, not over the small things, but at the right time to give herself a bit of guidance back to level par, perhaps. But it's been a tough day for her so far. Still 2 over
Hasn't quite knitted together as she would have liked, but she's still battling away, and an eagle on 16 would help her cause. Consecutive bogeys has cramped the style of Annabelle Dimmock. Safely on to the 17th.
She's a good ball striker, Annabelle. You can hear the difference in the noise when she hits the ball. She compresses the ball, and she's not a tall unit either, so very athletic move she puts on the golf ball.
Here's how it stands as we enter the final holes of day 3 of the Qatar Ladies Open at the Doha Golf Club. Aditi Ashok is 12 under. She leads by a shot. Becky Morgan is the clubhouse leader on 11 under. Nana Madsen also on 11 under. She's near the green on 16 with her tee shot. So a possible birdie opportunity for her. Annabelle Dimmock on the green at 17. Further 2 shots back. The first to play on 16 is Ashok, who laid up and has a good angle to the pin.
Good angle, good result, and another birdie chance for the 18-year-old from Bangalore.
It's another brilliant shot.
She's picked up 275 spots in the world rankings in the last 12 months. It's been a good year.
It's been okay.
91 of those in the last 4 weeks alone.
Well, I mean, you know, a good performance here, and Rookie of the Year she will be. She does have a little bit of travelling to do over the next couple of weeks or so, as we've discussed, but she's really enjoying life. And she has had a breakthrough year, and winning her home tournament must be, if not unbelievable, then some great feeling.
She said it was so special. I caught up with her earlier this week, had a chat with the family, and she just said she couldn't have written it better.
Tough golf course as well, wasn't it? She won with a 3 under par.
Both of the golf courses we've played for the Indian Open in the last 2 years, Delhi Golf Club as well as DLF this year.
Just 1 shot behind Nana Madsen. She'll have that for birdie.
The spin's just so hard to predict out of this rough. I can't stress it enough. Even with a wedge, say from 100 yards, which is usually a no-brainer from almost any lie, it's just so unpredictable. Really have to open up the club face, open your stance and be aggressive through the ball.
Dimmock on 17 to get back to 10 under. She'll have that for par and avoid a 3rd consecutive bogey.
grew up as part of the Wentworth Scholarship Program. Ross Fisher, another player to benefit from their support.
All for eagle. Second birdie of the round for Lydia Hall. Gets her to 8 under par. 4 off the lead. She's had to hang on in there at times, says Lydia Hall, but that's what she's done. This putt for birdie would give Nana Madsen a share of the lead. It was a good putt. Apologies for the frustration getting the better of Nana Madsen.
Looks a little red in the cheeks at the moment.
And she's blown up a couple of times. Still playing some pretty good golf. That's her first bogey of the day, and it's tipped her over the edge once again. Ashok for birdie. She's missed one.
Heaven forbid. She is human, barely, but still a par for the young Indian.
She remains at 12 under. She played that hole really well up until that putt. Played it in a slightly different way to Lydia Hall.
We talk about putting strokes. Caroline Headwell definitely has a bit more of a short, aggressive putting stroke, kind of pops at the ball. She played her college golf at Oklahoma State in the US, and over there for a couple of years.
Asper's approach to the final hole. Very narrow entrance to this 18th.
It's a cool setting around the 18th green as well, a real amphitheatre setting created by the promoters and the organisers of the tournament. It's going to create a lot of atmosphere come tomorrow afternoon.
Lydia Hall, after her birdie on 16, has the honour on 17. Worthy of applause.
That was a good plan, well executed.
safe from Madsen. Outside chance for birdie.
Good shot.
Looks very straight from Ashok. Oh, it's a little bit short.
Perhaps just not quite pure contact there for Aditi.
Did it sound a touch clunky?
It sounded a little thin, if anything, to me, but perhaps a little off the heel as well.
Birdie so far for Annabelle Dimmock on 18. This too is a generous fairway.
Yeah, good ball, mate.
Nice aggressive golf swing there from the young Brit. I'd be interested to see what Annabelle Dimmock could put together if she had a full year on tour. She's been kind of fighting herself with that injury. She's got truckloads of talent.
Oh, Linda Vesberg rolls one in at the last.
That's her third consecutive birdie as well.
What a finish from the veteran. It's a 2 under par round of 70. She's 8 under and well placed ahead of the final day of the Qatar Ladies Open. The very first one. This is the overhead view of the 17th.
We talk about the size of the greens on this golf course, and it's about 55 paces from front left to back right. The green is only 37 paces deep, well guarded on that front right section with the bunker rough all around this green. You can't afford to be short. You might see a pin over there on that front portion tomorrow. Today, well in the back, as we can see here. Pretty straightforward pitch shot back up the green here for Aditi. All depends on the lie out of this tricky rough.
You may not have just seen that, but in the distance there was a cricket game, a cricket match going on. Very popular in this part of the world with a lot of the people who live here who come from Pakistan and India and Bangladesh to work. Wouldn't say it's the greenest strip I've ever seen.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Took a hard bounce there forward for Aditi.
So the last few holes proving the most difficult of all in this third round. There we go. Can we see in the distance playing cricket?
Looks like good fun out there. Could almost rake that pitch.
The Australians doing any good in the current series? They're playing South Africa, aren't they?
I'm not too sure, Nigel. I'm pleading the fifth on that one, I think, at the moment. Right to remain silent, isn't it?
Unusual position for an Australian, it has to be said. I don't think England are doing too much better in India.
Back up the green here for Nana Madsen. Up the hill, we'll move a little right to left at the end. Last 8 feet or so.
Lydia Hall to get within 3 of the lead. Oh, she's done it. Consecutive birdies. She has had to be patient, and her patience is rewarded. And she's moving in the right direction. With 1 to play, she's 9 under par.
Big par save here for Aditi Ashok.
To keep a lead. She too is wobbling down the stretch. Second bogey in 3 holes for her.
And all of a sudden, we have a 3-way tie at the top. Nana Madsen, Becky Morgan, also on 11 under par. I think this one's headed right.
Aiming for her dad again.
And again, the thumbs up.
Madsen for par. She stays at 11 under.
And the walking scorer with a little work to do there on 17.
I think they've been told to hurry up because the light is fading. It goes very quickly in this part of the world.
It certainly does. Jet black by about 5 p.m. at the moment. Not dissimilar to over in Nagoya, where the tour is headed next week for the Queen's Cup. Nana Madsen will be one of the LET stars featuring there.
The final hole is a par 5. And here's what it looks like from above.
Yeah, just a slight dog leg off the tee. Plays pretty straight, and you need to hit the fairway if you want to have any chance of going for this into the rough on either side of that fairway very deep. If you're going to lay up, you want to do it just past that 100 mark and up towards this green. Well defended on that left side with tons of water and a really shallow bunker up there on the right-hand side. Pin to 8 in the front, middle of the green. Relatively little break around it. Definite birdie chance.
Lydia Hall has picked up a couple of shots in the last 2 holes. It's the type of golf course where you can do that.
It really can go either ways. I think we've seen today, you know, you've got Alex Falat-Frey out there at 3 over par. Johanna Gustafsson, who was in the mix at 6 under at the start of the day, finished with a 74. So, you know, there are 65s out there, but also you need to keep your wits about you.
Well, no question that Nana Madsen has provided some of the drama that we've witnessed today.
Yeah, I have to say, if you'd asked me at the start of the week what kind of golfer was going to be in the mix come Sunday, I would have said a long hitter. I'm quite surprised to see someone like Becky Morgan and Aditi at the top of the leaderboard. Aditi obviously just so in form at the moment, but in theory the course doesn't really set up that well for a short hitter.
Spring in the step as they try and beat the light.
Tough shot here for Annabelle Dimmick. Up over the bunker, out of the rough. Oh, she has played that so well.
One of the shots of the day from Annabelle Dimmock. That
Oh.
was her third, so she'll have that for birdie.
Yeah, well-deserved clap there from the crowds on 18.
Some of the architecture in Doha is stunning. It's inventive. And at night, it's extraordinary.
You get the feeling about Doha, it's my first trip here. Love the city, but it almost feels like Dubai 5 years ago. You know, there's so much development going on. You get the sense that it's going to be a real destination to come to over the next few years. Obviously, the World Cup coming to this part of the world is bringing
in 6 years. And,
Yes.
and 6 years from now, we'll be in the middle of the World Cup. And first one in the Middle East. And not without controversy, but fans, dedicated fans, will be able to watch 3 games in a day. So if you're into football,
They're building a lot of infrastructure to support it as well.
around the golf course, there's a railway going in, isn't there? Overhead railway. So constantly evolving. Now, Velat Faray. To get back to 5 under.
Well, she
Nice
turned,
finish.
turned in 40, 4 over par, came back in 34 on that back 9, 2 birdies. Bit of a tale of 2 golfers on each 9, but a nice smile to finish.
She knows, though, it was the front 9 that cost her. Bogeys on 2 and 3, and then 6 and 8. Steadied the ship on the back 9. 2 over round of 74, 5 under for the tournament. Not out of it completely. The leaders on 11 under. Headwell is still in the mix as well. 4 off the lead. This would reduce it to 3. Putter's been a bit cold today.
Looks of utter shock there on the face of Caroline Headwell. Good putt, bad read essentially. Still confused by it.
71 today for Caroline Headwell. 7 under. After that superb shot from Annabelle Dimmock. This for birdie. And this to get to 10 under. This for a round of 70. Annabelle Dimmock closes with a 70, and she moves to 10 under, 1 off the lead, currently held by 3 players. Becky Morgan is the clubhouse leader, having shot a 66 today. Ashok and Madsen are on the 18th fairway, both on 11 under. Mixed round from Annabelle Dimmock.
Ashok and Hall have both laid up as Madsen opted to wait for the green to clear, going for it in 2.
Is this wise?
Depends how confident you're feeling with your fairway woods in reality. And that can change by the day.
Didn't quite work out for her on 9. We are quite close to the airport here in Doha, and Madsen was waiting for the plane to go by. Full concentration now from the Dane.
And exhale. Well, I don't know if she's going to know if that stayed up or not. So it's going to be a nervy walk for Nana Madsen.
And Nikki.
Well, it's stayed up. It's going to be an interesting little pitch shot. Started right, headed left. And it seems to be up against the collar of that second cut of rough just there.
Another awkward stance coming up for Madsen.
But perhaps a bit of an awkward takeaway as well. Opting for a more conservative play, Lydia Hall. Just by her the ball of Aditi Ashok. Staring this one down.
Beautifully played again from Lydia Hall. She's turning it on. And the final 3 holes of this course at Doha Golf Club. Birdies on 16 and 17. And well set for one on 18. Now, at one stage during the afternoon, Aditi Ashok had a 2-shot lead. She ran into trouble on 15 and then again on 17. And this is her 3rd to the 18th. Lovely control once more.
Yeah, nice low ball flight on that shot. 2 bogeys in the last 3 holes, however, for Aditi, so a chance to make one of those up here on 18.
Three under for the day. Nana Madsen is 2 under.
Yep.
Lydia Hall level, which is an indication of the fight she's had with par.
Looks as though putter's been pulled from the bag. I think the swing impeded too much by those little bushes in the hazard. The ball is not in the hazard, we have heard, but checking the read on the green book there, Nikki.
He's wearing his Olympic shorts. Should the caddies have had medals?
Tricky one.
Probably not, but play such a big part, don't they?
Oh, don't they? I spent a lot of time with Brad Beecher recently out on tour. He was the caddy of Inbee Park. He wouldn't have minded having a gold medal.
Well, they're on the field of play.
The CEO there, Ivan Kodabash, watching on from just to the right of 18 green, right by the hospitality area and the players' lounge.
Big moment for Nana Madsen. If she gets this right, she could end the day in the lead.
What do you reckon? B plus?
Yeah, it's a
got a-
fair mark,
got a
fair
putt.
grade.
Putt for birdie at least.
Yeah. So fascinating finale to this third day. Becky Morgan in the clubhouse after a 66 on 11 under. Ashok and Madsen with birdie putts to come. First to go, Aditi Ashok. She walks after it. She knew it was in. Back to 12 under for Aditi Ashok. It's another lovely round of golf. It's a 68 for the Indian. But Nana Madsen, who will watch Lydia Hall putt, has an opportunity for a share of the lead. First to go, Lydia Hall. This to get to 10 under. Not quite. Round of 72 for Lydia Hall. She'll stay at 9 under. Fifth in the standings, all by herself. Not quite what she was looking for, but a couple of birdies late on have kept her in the frame. In the gathering gloom, Nana Madsen for a share of the lead. It's been a tempestuous round from the Dane. There have been ups and there have been downs. Can she finish with an up? She can. It's a 69 for Madsen. She does have a share of the lead. The young guns, Aditi Ashok and Nana Madsen, are all tied up at 12 under par. Becky Morgan at 11 under and Annabelle Dimmock at 10 under. It's tight at the top.
It's going to be an interesting final group out there tomorrow afternoon. 18-year-old Aditi, 22-year-old Nana Madsen alongside 42-year-old Becky Morgan looking for her first win alongside some of the young guns, stars of the LET this year.
Well, different styles from Aditi Ashok and Nana Madsen, but both have got them where they want to be. India and Denmark top the leaderboard. Wales well placed with Becky Morgan at 11 under. And Lydia Hall at 9 under. Sandwiching Annabel Dimmock of England on 10 under. Magnificent round from Jade Schaffer. A 65 today, 8 under. She's in the mix, as is Linda Vesberg. Jiquel Batin, Melina Jorgensen and Marta Sanz-Barrio on 7 under. Let's hear from Becky Morgan. She had a 66 today. She's with Edgar Morse.
Well, first up, congratulations. That was a great round. Right in contention now.
Yeah, I played well today. Got off to a really good start. Then dropped a couple late in the front 9 and then played the back 9 really well. So I'm happy. Yep.
What was working well for you today?
I putted pretty well today. You know, the last few days I haven't made too many putts from kind of 6 to 15 feet. And today I did. I mean, I hit some close, but I made some good kind of 10-footers today.
This course is pretty scoreable, isn't it, once you get going?
Yeah, very. Obviously there's a couple of, 10s, fairly easy par 5, 16's a good, kind of drivable par 4, which actually today was the first time I birdied it, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But there's definitely, if you hit the fairway, I think you've definitely got some good scoring opportunities.
It looks like you'll probably end the day around 1, 2 off the lead. Tomorrow, do you think perhaps a round of 5 or 6 under, something like that, will give you a good chance?
Yeah, I'd think so. I mean, something similar to today, I would imagine. I mean, obviously, there's some, birdie holes coming in here, so if I can stay within a couple, that would be nice.
Good luck to you.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Lovely. Cheers.
Becky Morgan there talking to Edgar Morse after a round of 66. She did indeed end the day 1 shot off the lead held by Aditi Ashok and Nana Madsen. The lights are coming on all over Doha. The greenkeepers are out, cutting, shaping.
It's long weeks for the greenskeepers. They're out so early. Let's not forget that some of the tee times this week were, before 7:20, if not even earlier. So, it's a week of little rest for them, but it's much appreciated, all the work they do.
Golf course, it goes without saying that it's in terrific condition, and it's much appreciated by everybody. They know what they're doing here, and that's for sure. Let's have a look back at Nana Madsen. And 9 consecutive pars were followed by a birdie on 10.
Pars on 11 and 12. This on the par 3, 13th. It snuck back to the right. That was birdie number 2 for the Dane.
On 14, the par 4. Lovely approach shot. Pin high. That was to lead to another birdie.
Now, she dropped a shot on 15. This was a pitch back across the green on the short par 4, 16th. It ran out just a little bit too much. Tough to judge it out of the rough. She would 2-putt for par from there.
Birdie putt on 17. That would lead to a par. And then on 18.
An aggressive play with the second shot. Managed to keep it out of the water. Opted for the flat stick. Putted it down the hill through the rough to there. And that would set up this putt for birdie. It was a round of 69. Mother alongside watching, and it got her to the top of the leaderboard.
Well, alongside Madsen at the top of the leaderboard is Aditi Ashok. And let's have a look at her round. .68 for the Indian Open champion. She had a birdie on the 4th. This was her on the 6th, par 4. That was her second birdie.
This her approach into the par 4 7th hole. Looking for birdie number 3. The iron was pristine, as was the result. That would drop 3 under par for the day.
This was on 8. Chip and a putt for par. She was rolling them in from everywhere. Out in 33.
This on the par 5 10th hole, back up the hill from about 25 feet. She was pouring them in.
Another chip and a putt required on 12. Judged to perfection.
Par on 13. This her approach on 14. Pins on the front left. Nearly knocked the flagstick out. It was a relatively straight putt and it would drop as well. Got her to 5 under par.
Bogey on 15. This was her on 16. That set up a birdie opportunity. But she couldn't convert. Another bogey on 17, and this was her on 18.
This a really nice approach shot. Little low with the wedge. Spin control to perfection. Setting up birdie number 6 of the day. And it was never in doubt. She knew it. It was going in.
68 from Aditi Ashok. Another superb round of golf. And it was one better than her co-leader, Nana Madsen. She's with Edgar Morse.
Nana, well played today, 3 under. Slightly frustrating front 9. I can see you got very frustrated on the 9th, but overall well played.
Thank you. Yeah, the front 9, I just didn't hit it close enough, so I didn't give myself those birdie chances I needed. So it was just 2 putts all the way in. So yeah, wasn't very good on the front 9. Then on the back 9, I have a few more chances, which I made. So that was good. Yeah.
And that birdie at the end, it could prove to be crucial, couldn't it? I mean, you saw Aditi do it, and then you went and matched it.
Yeah, it was actually really lucky that it didn't went into the water. So I was just happy that I didn't have to do the drop. Obviously, it's better to be tied for the lead than be one after. But if I had to be one after, then it will be okay as well. I was just happy that it didn't go into the water.
You set yourself such high standards. What do you feel that you have to do even better tomorrow to get your hands on this trophy?
I have to hit my approach shot closer to the pin because those shots I hit actually close. I actually made the putt, so if I can just hit it closer and stay in the fairway, then that's a good start.
Good luck to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Nana Madsen there with Edgar Morse. Was she fun to watch today?
That's one way to put it. It certainly wasn't boring, but a couple of the crowd members might have to have watched out for a few flying golf clubs and so forth. But
it was her general approach, wasn't it? Going for things, taking risks, and trying to, get to par 5s into, adventurous, aggressive. In complete contrast was the style of Aditi Ashok. She too is 12 under par. She had a round of 68, and here she is with Edgar.
Congratulations, you're heading into the final day in a share of the lead, and you really got off to a strong start today, didn't you? You were 4 under after the 10th hole.
Yes, it was quite windy in the morning, so I knew I had to, be sharp on my approaches, and I had a few birdie chances and I made pretty much all that I had, so the start was good.
The back 9 though slowed up a little. What was the reason behind that?
I just didn't hit, as good shots as I was hitting on the front 9. I mishit a couple of them, and I miscalculated with the wind a couple times as well. So yeah, I had made a lot of putts in the front 9, so I was bound to miss a couple too. But I finished with the birdie, so that was good.
Yeah, that birdie at the last obviously puts you level with Nana Madsen tomorrow. The two of you are going to go head to head, and I think Becky Morgan just one shot further back. What are your thoughts for tomorrow? Obviously, you have that experience of winning now as well.
Yeah, it's great to be in contention the week after a win. So obviously, I'm really happy with the way I'm playing this week, and I've played with Nana today, and she's an aggressive player as well. So it'll be fun tomorrow.
It certainly will. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Aditi Ashok, after a round of 68, it gave her a share of the lead on 12 under with Nana Madsen, who we heard from just a couple of minutes ago. Becky Morgan, a 66 on 11 under, and as you said, Al, it's going to be fascinating watching those three, two youngsters and a veteran together.
It's going to be a treat for the crowd as well. You've got two really dynamic players in Annabelle Dimmick and Nana Madsen, who you know are just going to go for everything, and then you're going to get a nice little lesson in course management watching Becky Morgan and Aditi Ashok. So we're in for a treat tomorrow. It's going to be nice to see who comes out on top.
Well, on top at the moment, Aditi Ashok and Nana Madsen. Annabelle Dimmock, she's hanging on in there, 10 under par. She had around a 70 today. Lydia Hall, it was a battle for her, but she too is in the mix at 9 under. Jade Schaefer ripped it up today. A 65, she's 8 under, alongside Linda Vesberg. Sophie Jaquel Batin, Milena Jorgensen, two of the players on 7 under, along with Caroline Headwell. Anne Van Dam, Nicole Garcia on 6 under. Do they still have opportunities?
You need a Jade Schaefer 65, I think, and you need a few bogeys from the leaders, but it's going to be interesting. You can't count anyone really within 5 shots of the lead out tomorrow.
Further down the leaderboard, Sophie Walker, Amy Bolden, Nuria Itorios, Titia Laksataporn. Among those on 3 under, Isabel Bueno, also a winner this year on 2 under par. Sarah Kemp and Connie Chen, others on 2 under par. It's been a really fascinating day here at the Doha Golf Club. I hope you can join us again for the final day of the Qatar Ladies Open. But for now, for all of us here in Doha, it's goodbye.